be probably focusing more on virtual space and virtual collaboration and how groups of basically working in 180 countries can come together and then try and work as a community. So NetHope is really all about connecting, collaborating, and innovating. What I'll try and cover quickly in my allocated 10 minutes, and I've got a few slides to go through, but I'll try and get through them fairly quickly. But basically a little bit about the humanitarian dilemma. Why do nonprofits and have to do more with less? And I think that not only goes for the development sector internationally, but everywhere. It's just common issues around. What's our unique value proposition? What have we done in the last 10 years since we started this organization with 10 of us, 10 CIOs? I was CIO for Plan International, Foster Parents Planning over in Canada, and I was based in London as their global CIO for 60 countries. And talk about collaborating for impact. So what is, one of the big issues we have really is that few stats related to humanitarian assistance. First of all, there's more than 2.5 billion people who live on less than $2 a day. We have 2.5 billion who lack access to clean sanitation, according to WHO. By 2015, more than 315 million are likely to be affected by climate change. And there are 43 million who are displaced by war. So based on this, it really is overwhelming the world's capacity to be able to respond to these disasters. We've seen this happen in Japan of late, and I think basically, no matter how prepared you are, these disasters will happen. So the whole humanitarian NGO sector has to find a way to work with them. A couple of things. I talked a bit about the disasters. I think there's this whole shrinking budgets and reduced staff. I mean, this is common throughout the sector. I know, after the economic meltdown, many of our members lost 20–30% of the revenues, the staff. One of the things about the IT sector, we basically know that we can't do it alone, so we came together and we were basically very willing to share ideas and to share solutions. The other is this lack of coordination. When you go into a disaster in Haiti, let's say, after the Haiti response, there was or earthquake. All of the telecommunications was devastated. We were able to come in with 20 members and use whatever was left in buildings, put together a solution, and have people up and running within 2 weeks, and then extend that out using radios and such. What's important there is that there was a lot of aid workers there, but without connectivity, without the connection, they weren't able to be able to respond. So technology is becoming more and more important, and I think it's equally important in the work you do as the work that is done internationally. So basically, the stats show that there's been ICT really has an impact on productivity. Basically on efficiencies within organizations, on communications, and it's had a direct impact on productivity. However, basically, when you look at it, poor connectivity, we're in the field peppers. Paper-based data collection leads to errors, a lot of silos, not a lot of cross-communication. With decentralized systems, again, pockets, very difficult to maintain. And basically, oftentimes, the offices in the field, people really need solutions, don't have the pen and paper, and they're given all kinds of procedures to do. But one of the things I wanted to show is, the last slide we talked about the fact that, industry like tape, this is the average spend, and it's about 4% on IT in industry. Up to 8% with some of the banks and some of the other companies. Amongst our members, it's 0.3 to 2.5%. So we'll never get to that productivity gap alone. And if you do, you get into that whole 80% of projects fail and whatever, because you try to do too big of projects. So working together is really the model. What can ICT transform? I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. Healthcare, education. I personally was involved a year ago in a launch of a project in Tanzania with the government and our member partners and the and also a lot of our NGOs is going to put e-education in 2,000 schools with 1.5 million students. Now, what was really unique about this is the vision and the ambition around that. In a country where 95% of the schools have no connectivity, they have no power. So this was also to solve the issue of power and having a business model sustainable with solar in order to make this a reality. Basically, the NetHope mission is a catalyst for collaboration, helping NGOs more effectively address the world's pressing challenges through smarter uses of technologies. And I want to just implore, as you launch your new initiatives here, keep an eye on the technologies and look for ways to work together and collaborate. And I'll talk about some of the ways we do that through our sharing and share and other elements. And maybe there's mechanism already you can tap into and need to create. We have basically 3 areas that we focus on. Interagency collaboration of 33 members. I'll talk about who they are in just a sec. Public-private partnerships. We have relationships with Microsoft, Cisco, many other private sector partners that help us in our mission. And really we focus in on technology in 5 areas. So here's some of our members, and you'll see that it's a very member story. It's a little bit small, but we have World Vision, and many of them have Canadian. I work on the international side. To be a member, you have to be on 2 continents. You have to have a certain number of revenue, and we always go with the international, and then we can have affiliates, so the Canadian Red Cross is a member, as is the international. Our partnerships here are with Adobe. We have Cisco has been with us since the beginning. We get 90% discount from Microsoft. Accenture, I think about 80%. And what's really unique, and this is where you get that social side, Accenture, actually their consultants take a 50% reduction to work for us. And they have their own private sector. So there are elements around when you start to pull it together that can really make a difference for you. Rockefeller is another funder. We have 5 program areas. Connectivity is where we started, bridging that last mile. Emergency response, I talked a bit about Haiti. We also have worked at the tsunami, and also earthquakes. And field capacity is training of the field staff. We have deals and discounts to get Microsoft training. Basically, finding a way to train staff around the world to better use technology and improve the process. Shared services is an interesting one where we have deals and discounts with many majors. Cisco's just given us access to $1 billion worth of equipment. It's Second Life equipment, but they're saying, looking at it, saying if we can help connect the world and basically go to our members, then it makes a difference for them and an impact throughout the world. The other shared services, we're trying to do models where we can use the cloud and can actually leverage solutions and share more amongst our members. The last area I'll go into a little more information on, because I think it's more relevant to this group, is innovation for development, and which is using IT and innovation in the development sector. So I4D is healthcare, agriculture, resources, education. I talked about field work. Microfinance is a major area of what our members do because I think it's proven very successful, and emergency response. We have our own process for innovation. This just highlights how we do it. Basically gathering ideas. It can come from members, it can come from anywhere, and piloting that with a group and then going into more of a scale. And using, we work with Microsoft right now and our members on the platform to get health information through mobile phones, so saving cycle times. And this is a little more detail on our process, and I'm going to leave the slides for here if anybody wants access, then we can get them sent to you. Great. That's it.